Alright guys, so we get a lot of questions from persons from time to time as it relates to not just questions, but we deal with a lot of persons who have pain and inflammation. And in today's Herbally Speaking episode, I'm going to be sharing with you a particular herb that helps to deal with pain. I'm going to tell you exactly what you can mix that herb with. I want to welcome all of you that are joining us on our Facebook groups, our YouTube channel. We're going to be using a new format to kind of get the message out. So for those persons who are just joining us, this is Herbally Speaking. I'm Dr. Ben Israel. I'm a traditional naturopath and herbalist, and we're based in Portland. And we have video series like this. If you're watching this on Facebook, we have tons of other video series like this on our YouTube channel. I would encourage you to go on over to our YouTube channel and to check that out. So in today's video, I'm going to be looking at a herb that helps with inflammation and pain. And this is a very, very powerful painkiller. It's a herb that you're going to be surprised to see, because it's a herb that grows wild here in Jamaica. If you've watched our videos, then you would have heard me talking about plant characteristics or plant signature, which is basically characteristics of plants that help us to know the usage of those plants. And one of the things we talk about is the fact that most plants that grow thorns, that grow maca, as we call it here in Jamaica, is very powerful as it relates to dealing with pain. And so it is not going to be surprising that this particular plant that we are going to be featuring is a very powerful plant. I'm going in the Buff Bay area, but this plant is very common. It's found all over Jamaica. Not Buff Bay, sorry, Boston area, as a pasture, because it's grown all over Jamaica, and it is especially grown along fence lines, because it helps to keep cattle in. You know, most cattle try to rub on the fence, or they try to break down the fence. So they use this plant a lot along fence lines to keep animals in, but also as a deterrent to intruders. Alright? So I want you to stay with me. Send this link out to somebody who you believe would be helped from this video. Today we're going to be looking at a herb that is maybe one of the most powerful herbs. It contains an ingredient that is found in cayenne pepper, but it's just that this compound is far more powerful. So for those persons who know the benefits of cayenne, then you know what I'm talking about. And this is good for rheumatism, it is good for arthritis, it is good for joint pains, joint ligaments pain, muscle pain, you name it. Alright, so I'm gonna pause the video so as not to eat up a lot of time just talking. I'm gonna pause the video, and I'm gonna resume once we get closer to this particular herb. So in the meantime, guys, go ahead and send this video out to somebody. And if you're watching this on Facebook or on our Instagram page, then you need to go over to our YouTube channel and subscribe so you can get these videos as soon as they come out. And also you can look at other videos that we've done in this series. Alright, so see you in a bit as we look on this very powerful plant. Alright guys, so I'm in a field now where I'm certain that there are some of the plant that we're going to be featuring today. I just came across this plant here. We featured it before. It's called cat's claw. Alright, if you can see it. Very powerful herb also, as it relates to dealing with pain. Cat's claw. This can grow very big, very effective against dealing with pain. Cat's claw, very famous plant. It's used internationally, but that's not the plant we're going to be looking at today. Today we're going to be looking at a plant that to me is even far more powerful, and it's right in my view. As I said, it grows. I'm actually in a cow pasture, and I found a very good sample tree, if you want to put it that way. Right, I found a very good sample tree that I want to feature. And look at the thorns on that plant, guys. Look at the thorn on that plant. A lot of you may be saying, oh, I know that plant, I know that tree there, right? A lot of you may be saying, I know that tree there. But this is actually prickly ash, all right? Prickly ash or Prickela. And let me just try and do a close-up for you. Yes, this is a plant that has very powerful thorns, and I have seen, look at the size of those thorns. I have seen trees maybe 12, maybe 9, 10 inches in diameter, and I've seen thorns as big as my finger and even bigger. So this tree can grow pretty big. Let me see if I can get a sample of the leaves. I mean, all of this plant, honey, all of this plant has thorns. All of this plant has thorns. Down to the very leaves of this plant have thorns. Just look at that. Down to the very leaves, as even the very under leaves have thorns. It's a very, very powerful plant. And as I said, it's very good for dealing with, sorry about that, it's very good in dealing with conditions such as what we call arthritis, for dealing with rheumatoid arthritis, a number of inflammatory conditions. And let me just get a piece of the bark and show you. When you cut it, it has a very distinctive flavor. It has a very nice flavor. Alright. Very nice flavor. Let me see if I can just get a nice chunk of the bark out without hurting myself. And it has a very nice aromatic flavor, slightly bitterish. But this herb is also called a toothache plant because in a number of countries in the Philippines and a number of countries in North America, this plant is actually used to deal with pain. So it's called toothache plant because if you're having toothache, if you get this plant, right now I just got some, just chew it up, and guys, in a matter of minutes, the tip of my tongue goes numb. That's how powerful it is. So it's very good for dealing with arthritis, for dealing with inflammation. If you're having joint pain, a very good formulation that I found is that if you combine, if you combine this plant with ginger, and if you combine it with turmeric, then you have one of the most powerful natural anti-inflammatory compound that you can come across. But not only is this plant good for conditions that have to deal with pain, one of the things that I like about it is that it is a circulatory stimulant. So it helps to boost your circulatory system. It is what we call diaphoretic, which means that it induces sweating. So I've given this to, I've actually recommended this to persons who have had what we call rheumatoid arthritis, and I've seen firsthand, believe me, I've seen firsthand how this plant works. It's also a very, very powerful digestive aid. It's a tonic as well, and in addition to being a very powerful circulatory stimulant, it also is very powerful for the lymphatic system. So it helps to get the lymphatic system going. It helps to get the blood circulation going. It also helps to get rid of gas. So if you're having gas, then this plant is a very powerful plant for expelling gas. What we've done is that we've seen this combined with ginger to make a very powerful medicine to help the digestive system. It is also what we call a sialagogue, so it helps to boost the secretion of saliva. So for persons who have dry mouth, it's a very powerful herb for that. It's an anti-fungal agent. Tons of use of this plant that grows in the wild. I just brought somebody who had who just came to see me a while ago, who had circulatory problems and joint problem, and when I showed them, they couldn't believe, because they just cut down a tree not too long ago, and here they were already being on prescription drugs, and I must say very expensive prescription drugs with tons of side effects. This plant is very powerful. One of the reasons why I like this plant is because it has a chemical that is very similar to the capsaicin that is found in cayenne pepper. And the difference with this is that cayenne is a very powerful painkiller, but the effects are not long-lasting. Well, the compounds found in Prickela are long-lasting. As a matter of fact, now I'm actually feeling the numbing sensation setting in my tongue right now. So a very powerful lymphatic stimulant. So for persons who maybe are immobile, they may be bedridden, and because of that you're having swelling in your lower part, in your legs and so on. This plant is an excellent lymphatic stimulant, in addition to being a very powerful pain-killing herb. It also improves the flow of blood to the small blood vessels. So if you're having circulatory problems in the extremities of your body, then it's a very powerful plant. Let me give you another close-up of this plant, because we want you to be able to identify this plant in the wild. All right, so very powerful plant. I really would appreciate you going ahead and sending this link out to somebody. We want to welcome all of those persons who are joining us through our Facebook, through our Instagram, through our Twitter, all our different social media feed. We're just finding ways to get this message out. If you're new to the Herbally Speaking series videos, then you can visit us on Facebook, and don't forget to subscribe and to hit the notification bell. All right, so that's a look at this very powerful plant. It is the prickly ash, or the Prickela maca. Very powerful, and I'm telling you from experience, from consuming it and from seeing it firsthand at work. We've had persons who have visited us with rheumatoid arthritis, and we've seen this work to move mucus out of the body. This is one of those herbs that is very powerful also in expelling mucus out of the body. All right, so that's our look on the Prickela maca, or prickly ash as it is known. Hope this video was of help to you. Until next time, remember, your health is your responsibility, and the greatest weapon against sickness and disease is education, not medication. Bye bye. See you in our next video.